Cosplay is my life, and these are delightful guests, and I would like you each to introduce yourselves and explain what you're cosplaying this evening.
My name is Rebecca Hayes. I'm cosplaying Captain Iron Swan. It's a character I've had for many, many years. Been doing this for a while because I like costuming, and I recently joined a cosplay group here in Tucson. I'm also a member of the Tucson Steampunk Society, the Arizona Steampunk Society. I'm a ConCon member for TusCon. I've been for over 25 years, and I enjoy costuming.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Alright, there we go. My name is Courtney Lee, and I am the owner of Courtney Lee Creations, where I make and sell costumes for a living. I am cosplaying. Originally, it was a gender bend of Leon Kennedy from the Resident Evil game series, but it kind of turned into just kind of a generic Raccoon City police officer, which is my favorite game series of all time. So I'm pretty passionate about it.
Right, so I'm Xander D Cosplay. I also am the owner and operator of Cortex Studios, which is my photography thing. And tonight I am Frank West, who is the reporter extraordinaire from Dead Rising series, or well, freelance, but we'll change that soon. Networks got it.
Talk into the end there. Yeah, but yours doesn't work.
Ah!
Here you want this?
Yes.
Hold on. Is something not working?
This one is not working. Hello?
It's
Yeah,
okay.
it's not.
We have none.
It's this muggle equipment desk. My name's Lisa Bunker, and I am cosplaying Professor Ramona Sprout from Hogwarts.
Yes.
And yes. What else was I supposed to? Sorry.
Well, you know, at this point, you can say anything you like, darling.
All right.
You know, you can talk about, like Rebecca was kind enough to give us a little history, and so were these two charming souls in between, so please.
Tell us about your zombie killing experiences. I
Right.
have lots
So
of
I've been a zombie, but no, we started doing Potter parties for the public library, and so this is one of several Potter characters I've played over the years. It's probably the one that I feel the most close to. Umbridge was not a success.
I'm sorry, you're not mean enough to be Umbridge.
No, and we had so much fun at the parties that I just kept grinning and breaking characters, so it did not work well.
So Lisa, since you have a microphone, would you be kind enough to tell us how you entered into the grand adventure of cosplay, and what inspired you?
Oh my goodness. I think it was going first to a Harry Potter conference, and the first one I attended was Lumos in Salem, Massachusetts, and I had loved the Potter books, but not seen myself as one of the characters, not really. And at the conference, oh my goodness, 7 Snapes would get up and dance, and it was just so much fun to have this kind of alter ego. And I went home and started. That was about when we started doing the library parties. And I think the first party I was Rita Skeeter, and then I've been Mulroney and Umbridge and other ones. But Sprout is. I love to garden, so this is the one that's closest to me. But yeah, so it was going to con and seeing other people just really rocking wonderful costumes.
Fantastic. Xander?
So, same question.
Yes, sir, please.
What got me into cosplay? Well, it was an accident. It was 100% an accident. I know it's weird to say, considering you have to choose to kind of dress up, but what had happened was I was bored, and a friend of mine from work was like, well, there's the Phoenix Comic Con coming up, and I was like, I don't know what that is. And they were like, well, just come. And I was like, all right, I'll come. And then they were like, well, we're dressing up. And I was like, well, what do you mean by dressing up? And they're like, well, we're gonna be soldiers. And I was like, well, that's boring. So I'm a huge fan of the Resident Evil series, like accordingly here, and I have been my whole life. It was one of the first games I ever played when I was a little kid. And then I was like, well, you know what? I'll be a soldier, but I'll be an umbrella soldier from Resident Evil. That'll be cool and interesting. And so I was just like, I threw together my old security gear because I was a security guard for 6 years, and it looked like the part. It was all black. I had a badge. I just painted an umbrella symbol over the badge, and I was like, cool, I'm cool. And then I went and realized that I'm so not cool. And so then I decided, well, my next one I'm gonna make awesome. And my next one actually wasn't even a con. She was hosting an event. So backtrack a little bit. We work at Fear Farm. She's worked for a long time, so she actually had Fear Farm available, which is a haunted house out in Phoenix, Arizona. And so she was doing a Resident Evil shoot. So I decided, cool, this is my chance to actually try. I didn't know that costuming wasn't just throwing on what you had in your closet. While it is a good, I still do that. Closet cosplay is one of my favorites because it's how I started. But I wanted to throw together something that actually looked the part. So I did Albert Wesker from Resident Evil. And then when I went to this Resident Evil shoot, it was a huge hit. I got a lot of professional pictures taken of me, which I'd never done before. So when those actually came out, I was in love with it. I felt famous for a day. And I got addicted to it, and I was like, this is so cool. I want to like get better. I want to look better. I want to like progress. So then there was TCC after that, which is where I did my Daryl. And then literally after that, I was like, this can't stop. I can't stop. So I just kept doing it, and then I met her, and then she makes costumes, so I don't know. It was just, it was meant to be. It really, really was. Like I can't see not being in cosplay at this point. It's not even possible. I had to do it after the first couple of times.
Courtney, would you be so kind?
Let's see. I had no idea what cosplay was when I graduated school from the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising in Los Angeles. My original intent was to be a costume designer for movies, which is not as easy as I thought it was when I was in high school. So I came back to Arizona and I started getting into doing fantasy artwork. So the business Courtney Lee Creations actually started out as a fantasy art business, where I first attended the Phoenix Fairy Festival in 2008. And then I made costumes for that, and then somebody told me you should get into cosplay, so I got into cosplay, and I think my first costume was also from Resident Evil. And I just got addicted to it. My first convention was Phoenix Comic-Con, and then I don't know, I loved making costumes. It was a way for me to get my costume creativity out without having to step all over people trying to get jobs. And the way it started as a business was I just kind of had no money coming out of college. There were no jobs, so I was at home feeling really down on myself because I had to live with my parents and I made no money. So I made myself and my friends some costumes to attend the Last Airbender premiere for the live action movie, which was horrible and destroyed my life for that week that we saw it. But the costume part was really awesome. So my mom and my sister suggested putting it up online and seeing how it went. And I put it up online, and then now 6 years later, it's a full-time job where I make all of my money from working at home, making costumes for people all over the world. And then, you know, when I have free time, I make myself a costume, which even if I don't have free time, I make my costumes and, you know, don't sleep. And yeah, that's how I got into cosplay. It was kind of a savior for me because I was actually depressed about being jobless for so long and not being able to contribute in any way, and so it was an outlet for me to express myself creatively and also to make money by myself doing work that I love. So it is my life, technically.
the reason I'm on this panel is because Joe and Scott, come on, you can be on this panel. You've been doing it before it was cool. So here I am. I started costuming. As a kid, I always loved playing in costumes, and my mother sewed. I learned how to sew. And so right around the mid-60s, I started making costumes for myself. And the first major convention I remember doing where I actually did a cosplay, it was United Federation of Phoenix Fan Con, and I believe it was either 76 or 77. And George Takei was one of the judges, and I had gotten really heavily into the Chronicles of Narnia. So I thought, why not? I did a Narnian character. I dressed up as somebody from Narnia, not anybody real descript, but I felt I did myself a favor because I was very brave to get up on that stage with all of those people in front of George Takei and show that costume. Wasn't the greatest in the world, but after that I started getting more and more into the costuming, and then I played in the SCA for, well over 25 years doing garb and stuff, which I absolutely love making the costumes. I run fan clubs, which we run security for different conventions, which we also costumed for. And within the last, in 2010, we got into steampunk, my husband and I, and it kind of took over our lives. And right now, my closet is more costume than it is street clothes. I can pick anything out of my closet and turn it into a costume. I love doing it. I'm getting deeper and deeper into it. I've got some plans for some really great costumes for Wild Wild West Con next year. And I recently joined a cosplay group where we do photography sessions, which is just so much fun. And so I'm 63 years old, and so I've been doing this for a while, and I don't see me stopping anytime soon.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Well, I think we all like to dress up here at this table. That's arguably true. And you all have some amazing experience and diversity, but a lot of similarity to your stories. So I'm curious, what was that moment that cosplay became really magic for you? What was the costume or the convention or the look on a child's face that just you knew you were sucked in for life?
Okay,